Welcome back, children. Today, let's look at some miscellaneous problems related to Chapter 1. There are a number of formulas to calculate the number of moles of a substance depending on whether it is an atom, whether it is a molecule, whether it is a gas, and so on. So let's deal with these. Number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass. Okay, you may use this formula if your substance is a molecule. That's why you have gram molecular mass in the denominator. The formula number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by molar mass may be used as well. Okay, here the molar mass in the denominator is the same as gram molecular mass. So you may use any of these formulas to find out the number of moles of a substance which is a molecule. Okay, now if the substance is a element, okay, you may be dealing with the following formula. Number of moles of atoms equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram atomic mass. Okay, your substance is an element. It will contain atoms. Okay, it is not a molecule. So you must use this formula to find out the number of moles present in an element. Okay, now if your substance is a gas and if its volume is expressed in liters, you may consider using this formula. Number of moles equal to given volume in liters divided by molar volume. Here, the molar volume of any gas at standard temperature and pressure is 22.4 liters. So, you may use the formula number of moles equal to given volume in liters divided by 22.4 liters if your substance is a gas and its volume is expressed in liters. Now, in certain cases, you may be asked to find out the number of moles when you are given the number of atoms or the number of molecules. Okay, so in such cases, you may use any of these formulas. Number of moles equal to number of atoms divided by Avogadro's constant or number of molecules divided by Avogadro's constant as the case may be. Okay, in some cases, you may be asked to find out the number of atoms when you are given the number of moles, or you may be asked to find out the number of molecules when you are given the number of moles of that substance. Okay, in such cases, depending on what is asked in the question, you may arrange any of these formulas in order to arrive at your appropriate answer. Okay, so we have some related problems. Let's apply these formulas in each of these problems and understand the use of these formulas. Let's look at the first example. Calculate the number of moles in 4 grams of oxygen atoms. Here the mass of oxygen atoms is given in grams and we are asked to calculate the number of moles of oxygen atoms present in 4 grams of oxygen atoms. Okay, so we would use the formula number of moles of atoms is equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram atomic mass. We know that the atomic mass of oxygen is 16U. If we express the same in grams, then it is the gram atomic mass of oxygen. We express the mass of oxygen atom in gram atomic mass in the formula used as the mass of oxygen atoms given in the problem is in grams. Example 2. Calculate the volume at STP occupied by 14 grams of nitrogen. In this problem, we are asked to calculate the volume occupied by 14 grams of nitrogen. Here, the mass of nitrogen is expressed in grams and you are asked to calculate the volume occupied by 14 grams of nitrogen. So your answer should bear a different unit, that is liter in this case. Such problems can be solved in two steps. In the first step, we should calculate the number of moles of nitrogen in 14 grams. For this, we could either use the formula number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by molar mass, or you could also use the formula number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass. Okay, we know nitrogen exists in nature as dinitrogen, which is again a molecule. Hence, we use either molar mass or gram molecular mass in the denominator. We know gram molecular mass of a substance is numerically equal to its molar mass. So, In this problem, I have used molar mass in the denominator. You could also use gram molecular mass. No wrong in it. Okay, so let's do the calculation. Let's substitute the mass of the substance given in the question. What is it? 14 grams. We know the molecular mass of nitrogen is 14 plus 14 is equal to 28. So if we express it in molar mass, it would be in grams. So that becomes 28 grams. Okay. So 14 grams divided by 28 grams gives you 0.5 moles. In the second step, we shall use the formula to calculate the number of moles when the substance is a gas, which is given as number of moles equal to volume in liters divided by molar volume. Okay, molar volume of any gas is equal to 22.4 liters. We can rearrange this formula as volume in liters equal to number of moles into 22.4 liters and find out the volume occupied by nitrogen in 0.5 moles. Okay, on doing the substitution, we write 0.5 in place of number of moles and we multiply it with 22.4 liters and the answer we get will be equal to 11.2 liters at STP. We move on to example 3. Calculate the number of molecules in 7 grams of nitrogen gas. Here the mass of nitrogen gas is given in grams and we are asked to find out the number of molecules present in this amount of nitrogen gas. Okay, as usual in the first step we find out the number of moles. How? We would use the formula number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass, or you could also use the formula given mass of the substance divided by molar mass. Both are equal, right? Now, how to find out the gram molecular mass of nitrogen gas? We know in nature nitrogen exists as dinitrogen, N2, which is a molecule. Okay, so its gram molecular mass is obtained as the sum of the atomic masses of the two nitrogen atoms. Okay, so the mass of one nitrogen atom expressed in grams is 14 grams. So 14 gram plus 14 gram gives you 28 grams. Okay, and on substituting the given mass of the substance in the numerator, which is 7 grams, we get a value of 0.25 mole as the number of moles present in 7 grams of nitrogen gas. Okay, 0.25 moles of nitrogen is present in 7 grams. Now, in the next step, we must find out the number of molecules. In the first step, after finding the number of moles, we move on to the second step. In this, we must find out the number of molecules using the formula number of molecules equal to number of moles into 6.022 into 10 power 23, which is nothing but Avogadro's constant. Okay. And what is the value we obtained for the number of moles? It is 0.25 moles. On substituting this in this formula and on multiplying it with Avogadro's constant, we get an answer of 1.505 into 10 power 23 molecules. This is how we must do such problems. Okay, dealing with number of molecules calculation. In the first step, we must find out the number of moles, and in the second step, we must find out the number of molecules. Let's move on to example 4. Calculate the number of molecules in 2.24 liters of methane. Since methane is a gas and its volume is given in liters, we can use the formula number of moles equal to given volume in liters divided by molar volume. What is the volume given to us in liters? It is 2.24 liters. And the molar volume of any gas at standard temperature and pressure would be equal to 22.4 liters. Now substituting this in the denominator and on substituting 2.24 liters in the numerator, we get the answer 0.1 mole. Okay, in the next step, let's calculate the number of molecules of methane present in this 0.1 mole. Okay, for this we shall use the formula number of molecules equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant. Okay, so what is the number of mole of methane present in 2.24 liters of methane? It is 0.1. So substituting this in the formula, we get 0.6022 into 10 power 23 molecules as the answer. In certain problems, you may be asked to find out the number of atoms in a substance, or you may be asked to find the number of electrons in a substance. If such types of questions are asked, you follow the scheme shown in working out those problems. For example, if you are asked to calculate the number of atoms, you may first calculate the number of moles present in the substance. Then you may find the number of molecules. After this step, you may use the formula number of atoms equal to number of molecules into number of atoms in a molecule to find the number of atoms in a substance. Okay, now in this formula, number of atoms in a molecule, this term is nothing but atomicity. Okay, the number of atoms in one molecule is called its atomicity. So the number of atoms in a given amount of substance can be calculated by multiplying the number of molecules in it with its atomicity, which is nothing but the number of atoms in a molecule. Likewise, if you are asked to calculate the number of electrons in a given amount of substance, you may first find out the number of moles, and then you may find out the number of molecules, and instead of using the formula for finding the number of atoms, you may use the formula number of electrons equal to number of molecules into total number of electrons in a molecule. Okay, using this formula, you may find out the number of electrons. Example 5. How many atoms of sulfur are present in 64 grams of sulfur? Given by S8. Okay, so here the molecular formula of sulfur given is S8. S8 means it is a molecule. That is, there are 8 atoms of sulfur in S8. Now, how would you find out the molecular mass, gram molecular mass of sulfur? Okay, it is given by the product of gram atomic mass of one atom of sulfur into the number of atoms present in one molecule. Okay, how many atoms are present in a molecule of sulfur? Here, according to the molecular formula, it is 8. Okay, we know the gram atomic mass of an atom of sulfur is 32. Okay, 32 grams. So, on multiplying these, you get 256. Okay, therefore 256 gram is the gram molecular mass of S8. Now, in the next step, let's find out the number of moles of S8 present in 64 grams of sulfur. For this, we use the formula number of moles equal to given mass of the substance by gram molecular mass. Okay, what's the given mass? It is 64 grams. Let's substitute that in the numerator. Divided by 256 grams gives you 0.25 mole. So, these many moles are present in 64 grams of S8. Okay, since S8 is a molecule, we calculate the number of molecules present in 0.25 moles first. Okay, so this is given by the formula number of molecules equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant. On substituting the value of number of mole, you get 0.25 into 6.022 into 10 power 23. That is 1.505 into 10 power 23 molecules are there in 64 grams of sulfur. Now, how to calculate the number of atoms in sulfur? Okay, here in this case, we are dealing with one molecule. Now, generally speaking, there's a formula to find out the number of atoms given in n number of molecules of sulfur. Okay, what is that? It is equal to number of atoms equal to number of molecules of sulfur into number of atoms in a molecule of sulfur. This is known as atomicity. Number of atoms in a molecule of sulfur is atomicity. Okay, so 1 into 8. Okay, here S8, there is only one molecule. So you write 1 into 8 gives you 8 atoms of sulfur. Okay, therefore one molecule of sulfur would contain 8 atoms of sulfur. Here in 64 grams, how many molecules of sulfur are there? 1.505 into 10 power 23 molecules of sulfur are there. Now our aim is to find out the number of atoms of sulfur that would be present in 1.505 into 10 power 23 molecules of sulfur. This is obtained by multiplying 1.505 into 10 power 23 with 8. Okay, so you get 12.04 into 10 power 23 atoms as the number of atoms present in 64 grams of S8. Example 6. Calculate the number of electrons present in 1.6 grams of methane. As usual, in the first step, we calculate the number of moles using the formula given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass. Why do we use gram molecular mass in the denominator? Because methane is a molecule. Okay. Now, what's the given mass? 1.6 gram divided by gram molecular mass of methane is 16 grams. Children, you should show how you calculated gram molecular mass of methane while you write in your exam. Clear? So, on solving 1.6 divided by 16, you get 0.1 mole. Therefore, 0.1 moles of methane is present in 1.6 grams of methane. Okay, our aim is to find out the number of electrons present in 0.1 mole or 1.6 grams of methane. For this, we must know how many molecules are there in 1.6 grams of methane first of all. So we use the formula number of molecules equal to number of moles into 6.022 into 10 power 23. Now, how many moles are there in 1.6 grams of methane? 0.1. On substituting this in this formula, you get an answer 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules. Therefore, 0.1 mole of methane contains 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules. Okay, now we know the number of molecules in 0.1 mole of methane. So let's calculate the number of electrons in 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules. Okay, for this we must know how many electrons are there in one molecule of methane first. Okay, so let us consider a molecule of methane. We know a molecule of methane has one carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. The number of electrons in a carbon atom is equal to 6. How do you get this value? We know the atomic number of carbon is equal to the number of electrons present in carbon. Okay, since the atomic number of carbon is 6, the number of electrons in carbon would also be equal to 6. That's how you get number of electrons in carbon as 6. Okay, now the number of electrons in hydrogen atom. Since the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, the number of electrons in hydrogen atom is also 1. Therefore, total number of electrons in hydrogen atom in the case of methane molecule is 4 into 1 equal to 4, since there are 4 atoms of hydrogen in one methane molecule. Therefore, total number of electrons in methane is equal to 6 plus 4, that gives you 10. So, 10 electrons are present in one methane molecule. Now, the total number of electrons in 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules is given by the formula number of electrons equal to number of molecules into total number of electrons in a molecule. Now, how many molecules are there in 1.6 grams of methane? 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules. So, substitute this in this formula. Okay, into how many electrons are there in one methane molecule? It is 10. So, on multiplying these, you get a value 6.022 into 10 power 23. So, these many electrons are present in 1.6 grams of methane. Exercise problem 1.28. Which one of the following will have the largest number of atoms? 1 gram gold, 1 gram sodium, 1 gram lithium or 1 gram of chlorine. Note that in the first 3 cases, we are given the elements. Okay, in the fourth case, it is a molecule. Okay, it is not an atom but a molecule. Okay, now we need to find out the number of atoms present in 1 gram of gold, sodium, lithium and chlorine in order to do the comparison and find out the one with the largest number of atoms. So first of all, we use the formula number of moles of atoms equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram atomic mass when we solve for the first 3 cases, because sodium, gold and lithium are all elements. So we need to find out its gram atomic mass. We should not write gram molecular mass in the formula on the denominator. Okay, these are all not molecules, they are elements. So we must mention gram atomic mass. But When we are solving for the number of moles in the case of chlorine, we must write number of moles equal to given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass. Okay, why? Chlorine is a molecule. It's not an element. It is given as a molecule. That's why we do that. Okay. In the next step, we find out the number of atoms present in them by the formula number of atoms equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant. So let's start solving 1 gram gold. The number of moles of atoms in 1 gram gold is equal to, what is the given mass of the substance? It is 1 gram divided by gram atomic mass of gold. It is 197 grams. So that gives you 1 divided by 197 moles. In the next step, we find out the number of atoms present in 1 by 197 mole, that is 1 gram of gold, by the formula number of moles into Avogadro's constant. Here the number of moles present in 1 gram gold is 1 divided by 197. So Avogadro's constant is 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. On multiplying that, you get the number of atoms in 1 gram gold. Let's solve for 1 gram of sodium. Now the number of moles of atoms in sodium is given by given mass of the substance by gram atomic mass. What is the given mass here? It is 1 gram divided by the gram atomic mass of sodium is 23 grams. On substituting these in the formula, we get 1 divided by 23 moles. Okay, in the next step, let's find out the number of atoms. So this is obtained by multiplying the number of moles with Avogadro's constant. So on doing that, you get 1 divided by 23 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. So these many atoms are present in 1 gram of sodium. Now let's look at this third case, 1 gram of lithium. Now the number of moles present in 1 gram of lithium is equal to, what is the given mass of lithium? It is 1 gram divided by the gram atomic mass of lithium is 7 grams. Okay, so you write these in the formula and you get 1 divided by 7 moles as the number of moles present in 1 gram lithium. Now, the corresponding number of atoms is given by the formula number of moles into 6.022 into 10 power 23. That gives you an answer of 1 divided by 7 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Let's find out the number of moles present in 1 gram of chlorine molecule first. Okay, so number of moles is given by given mass of the substance divided by gram molecular mass. Here we use the term gram molecular mass and not gram atomic mass, because here Cl2 it is a molecule. Okay, that is what is given to us. Cl2 is a molecule. So in the denominator we have gram molecular mass and not gram atomic mass. Clear? How do we find the gram molecular mass of Cl2? In Cl2, chlorine, there are 2 Cl atoms, right? Therefore, gram molecular mass of Cl2 is equal to 35.5 plus 35.5, where 35.5 is the gram atomic mass of one chlorine atom. Okay, so on adding these, we get 71 grams as the gram molecular mass of Cl2. Okay, on substituting this in the formula for finding the number of moles, we get 1 by 71 mole as the number of moles present in 1 gram of chlorine. Since Cl2 is a molecule, we use the formula number of molecules equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant to find out the number of molecules present in 1 gram of Cl2 first. Okay, so how do you do that? In place of number of moles, you write 1 by 71 and you get 1 by 71 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules as the number of molecules present in 1 gram of chlorine. But what is our actual aim? We need to find the number of atoms. So the next step, we use the formula number of atoms equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant. But there's a difference here. Look at the numerator. In place of 1, you have 2. Okay, so the answer becomes 2 divided by 71 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. You need to specify whether this is an atom or a molecule. Okay, in your exam you must do that. Don't forget. Okay, note that in the numerator we have 2. Since there are 2 chlorine atoms in Cl2, we write 2 in the numerator when we calculate the number of atoms. Clear? Therefore, among the 4 elements, 1 gram lithium contains largest number of atoms. Why? The fraction of 1 with the least value on the denominator gives the largest value as answer. Okay. Now, on comparing the values obtained for the number of atoms in each case, we find that the answer obtained for lithium is 1 by 7 into 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Here you can see that when you compare the denominators of all the other answers, the denominator of lithium is 7, which is the least value. Okay, so 1 gram lithium contains that would contain largest number of atoms. This is how we work out this problem. Exercise problem 1.33. Calculate the number of atoms in each of the following: 52 moles of argon, 52 U of helium, 52 grams of helium. Okay, now let's do the first problem. 52 moles of argon. Okay, here they are given the number of moles of argon as 52. Now we know that the number of atoms in 1 mole of argon is equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23. That is their Avogadro's constant. Okay, so if these many atoms are present in 1 mole, then how many atoms are present in 52 moles of argon? We use the formula number of atoms equal to number of moles into Avogadro's constant to arrive at the answer here. So on substituting 52 in the place of number of moles and multiplying it with Avogadro's constant, we get the answer 3.13 into 10 power 23 atoms. Now let's solve the second case, 52 U of helium. Here look at the mass. The mass is expressed in unified mass. Okay, U. Okay, so we can use the following formula: number of atoms equal to given mass in U divided by atomic mass in U in order to find out the number of atoms. Okay, directly. Here the atomic mass of helium is 4U. Okay, on substituting this in the formula, you get 13 as the number of atoms present in 52U of helium. Now coming to the last case, 52 grams of helium. We need to find out the number of atoms present in this amount of helium. Now look at the way in which mass of helium is expressed. It is expressed in grams. So we stick on to the scheme discussed. In the scheme we said we must find out the number of moles if the mass of the substance is expressed in grams. So number of moles of helium is equal to given mass of helium divided by gram atomic mass of helium, because helium is not a molecule, it is an element. Okay, so we need to use the term gram atomic mass in the formula for finding the number of moles of helium. Okay, so what is the gram atomic mass of helium? It is 4 grams. On substituting this value in the formula, we get 13 moles. So 13 moles is the number of moles present in 52 grams of helium. Now we need to find out the number of atoms present in 13 moles or 52 grams of helium. For this we use the formula number of moles into Avogadro's constant. So on multiplying 13, which is the number of moles, with Avogadro's constant, we get 7.83 into 10 power 24 as the number of atoms present in 52 grams of helium. Let's work out exercise problem 1.34. A welding fuel gas contains carbon and hydrogen only. Burning a small sample of it in oxygen gives 3.38 grams of carbon dioxide, 0.690 grams of water and no other products. A volume of 10 liters measured at standard temperature and pressure of this welding gas is found to weigh 11.6 grams. Calculate empirical formula, molar mass of the gas and molecular formula. Now children, this problem is a bit different from all the other problems we encountered in this chapter. There's a clue hidden in this problem, and if you crack it, you could solve this problem easily. Now read the first sentence. A welding fuel gas contains carbon and hydrogen only. Okay, so it means the welding fuel gas consists only carbon and hydrogen as constituents. Now we need to find out the ratio in which carbon and hydrogen is present in this gas sample in order to answer the first question. Okay, to find it out, we are given a clue. Read the second sentence. Burning a small sample of it in oxygen gives 3.38 grams of carbon dioxide, 0.690 grams of water, and no other products. Isn't it? We are given the masses of carbon dioxide and water respectively. From the given mass of carbon dioxide and water, we must find out the mass of carbon and hydrogen present in carbon dioxide and water respectively. Once we find the mass of carbon and hydrogen, we can calculate the mass percentage of carbon and hydrogen in the welding gas. And finally, we can write the corresponding empirical formula. Now, there's an additional information given in the question. A volume of 10 liters of this welding gas is found to weigh 11.6 grams. Okay, using this, we can find out the volume of the gas and mass of the gas present in this volume, that is 10 liters. Okay, so using this information, we can calculate the molar mass in two steps. As usual, in the first step, we calculate the number of moles in 10 liters, and in the second step, we can find out the molar mass of the gas. Okay, finally, the molecular formula of the welding gas can be found in the usual way we learnt. So, first of all, let us calculate the mass of carbon and hydrogen present in carbon dioxide and water. Okay, we know the molar mass of carbon dioxide is 44 grams. What is that? It is the mass of 1 mole of carbon dioxide. And the molar mass or mass of 1 mole of water is 18 grams. You need to calculate it in the usual way. Children, I have not written here, but you need to calculate it in your exam. Okay, now if the mass of carbon in 44 grams of carbon dioxide, that is 1 mole of carbon dioxide, is 12 grams, then the mass of carbon in 1 gram of carbon dioxide would be equal to 12 by 44, which is obtained by unitary method or by cross multiplying. Now, the mass of carbon in 3.38 grams of carbon dioxide would be equal to 12 divided by 44 into 3.38 grams. Okay, now children, just ask yourself, why do I do this step? Why should I find out the mass of carbon in 1 gram of carbon dioxide here and then find out the mass of carbon in 3.38 grams of carbon dioxide by unitary method or by cross multiplication? Suppose, for example, you have an apple and it is cut into 4 parts. Okay, if 4 parts makes 1 apple, then 1 part would make 1 by 4th of the apple. Suppose if I have 8 parts of apple in my hand, then 8 parts would be equal to 1 divided by 4 into 8, which gives 2. Okay, that means I have 2 apples. Okay, so what is the significance of this unitary method? It is that we find out the value of 1 unit first and then we further use the answer obtained to find the value of multiple units. That is what is done in our problem. First of all, we find out the mass of carbon in 1 unit, that is 1 gram of carbon dioxide, and then further use the answer obtained to calculate the value of carbon or mass of carbon in 3.38 grams of carbon dioxide. Okay, so what is the answer we get? It is equal to 0.9218 grams. In a similar way, we can find out the mass of hydrogen in 0.690 grams of water. Mass of hydrogen in 1 mole of water, that is 18 grams of water, is equal to 2 grams. Then mass of hydrogen in 1 gram of water would be equal to 2 divided by 18. So therefore, mass of hydrogen in 0.690 grams of water would be equal to 2 divided by 18 into 0.690, which gives you 0.0767 grams as the answer. We know that welding fuel gas contains only carbon and hydrogen as substituents. So the molecular mass of the welding fuel gas that is burnt would be equal to 0.9218 plus 0.0767, that gives you an answer of 0.9985 grams. So this is the molecular mass of the welding fuel gas that is burnt. Clear? Now we must find out the mass percentage of each element, that is carbon and hydrogen present in the gas. Okay, we must calculate the percentage of carbon and percentage of hydrogen present in the welding fuel gas. Okay, so how would you do that? Mass percentage of carbon equal to mass of carbon divided by molecular mass of welding fuel gas into 100. That gives you 0.9218 divided by 0.9985 into 100, which is equal to 92.32%. So mass percentage of carbon is 92.32%. Mass percentage of hydrogen equal to mass of hydrogen divided by molecular mass of welding fuel gas into 100. So 0.0767 divided by 0.9985 into 100. That gives you an answer of 7.68%. Our next aim is to find out the empirical formula of welding gas. So let's do it in the usual way. In the first column, the element symbols of carbon and hydrogen are written. In the second column, the mass percentages of carbon and hydrogen are written. In the third column, mass percentage is converted into grams. And this is not a big deal. We just replace the percentage symbol by the unit G. In the fourth column, the number of moles of carbon and hydrogen present in 92.32 grams of carbon and 7.68 grams of hydrogen are written. Now, how do you find out the number of moles of carbon present in 92.32 grams? You would use the formula number of moles equal to given mass by gram atomic mass. Since we are dealing with an element, carbon. Okay, we cannot say it in terms of gram molecular mass. We can just say it in terms of gram atomic mass. Okay, the gram atomic mass of carbon is 12 grams. So that's how we get 12 in the denominator. So 92.32 divided by 12 gives you 7.69. Okay. In the same way, gram atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 grams. The mass of hydrogen is 7.69 grams here, isn't it? So dividing it by gram atomic mass, that is 1 gram, we get 7.68. In the next column, we divide each value of mole by the smallest number among them. That's how we find out the simplest ratio in which carbon and hydrogen are present in the gas. In the last column, we write this simple whole number ratio. That is, for carbon it is 1 and for hydrogen also it is 1. Next, we write the empirical formula by writing the element symbols along with their ratios as subscripts. Okay. We write their individual ratios as subscripts of the corresponding element symbols carbon and hydrogen. That's why we write C1H1 and this can be simply written as CH. Now what's the second question asked to us? We are required to find out the molar mass of the welding fuel gas. This can again be done in the usual way by following two steps. In the first step, we find out the number of moles. Okay, how do you do that? We know the volume of the gas is given in liters, which is 10 liters. Okay, so we should use volume in liters divided by molar volume formula. We know molar volume for any gas is 22.4 liters at STP. And that is what is mentioned in our question. So substituting the volume of the welding gas, that is 10 liters in the numerator and dividing it by 22.4 liters, we get the number of moles of welding fuel gas. Okay, in the next step, we find out the molar mass of the gas by rearranging the formula number of moles equal to given mass of the gas divided by molar mass. Okay, on rearranging, you get molar mass of the gas equal to mass of the gas divided by number of moles of the gas, which is equal to 11.6 gram. That is what is given in the question. Okay, divided by number of moles is 10 divided by 22.4. Okay, now you take the term in the denominator to the numerator, and when you do that, you write it in the inverse form. Okay, so 11.6 into 22.4 divided by 10 gives you 25.98 grams. You can simply round it off and you can write it as 26 grams. The last question asked us to find out the molecular formula of the welding fuel gas. This can be achieved in two steps. In the first step, we find the value of N by the formula molar mass of the gas divided by empirical formula mass equal to N. Now look at the denominator. Do we know the value of empirical formula mass? No, but we know the empirical formula of the gas. It is CH. So empirical formula mass is the sum of the gram atomic masses of C and H. Okay, it is the sum of the gram atomic masses of carbon and hydrogen. that is equal to 12 gram plus 1 gram gives you 13 grams. So this is the empirical formula mass. We calculated the molar mass of the gas, that is it is equal to 26 grams, right? Substitute this in the above formula and we write 26 gram divided by 13 gram, which is equal to N, gives you 2 as the value of N. Now molecular formula is equal to N into empirical formula. So N is equal to 2, we know that. Okay, 2 into CH is the empirical formula. So 2 into CH gives you C2H2. Note that when you multiply CH by 2, it goes to the subscript of carbon and hydrogen in the empirical formula. Therefore, molecular formula is C2H2, which is acetylene.